Now, good evening to you. Welcome to the program tonight. My name is Brian Amwai. I do have to apologize and ask you to forgive me for my hoarse voice tonight. But like we always say, the show must go on, and we have a packed bulletin for you from matters politics all the way to sports and social issues. So, let's get started. This are the top stories tonight.
Kazi hakuna, kazi iko chini. Hata vile tunategemea hakuna.
Na tukisema hatutaamusha gari, serikali itafanya nini?
Tonight on Lookup Weekend, the strike is on. PSV owners maintain as they hike bus fares following increased fuel prices.
Kama inaweza make it, ajaribu.
Hao watu watafuta pesa, si ati kutafuta signatures, kwani ni walimu.
What's your say? Will the 10 million azimio signatures serve their purpose? We ask that in your opinion matters tonight. Also tonight, making deals abroad while there is trouble at home. Tonight, we look at the president's visit to neighboring countries as political and judicial setbacks threaten his administration.
All right, now my name is Brian Amwaya. Sign language interpreter tonight is Philista Adundo. We do want to welcome your feedback on the program. Engage us on our socials at Amwaya Brian on Twitter, at Lookuptv. The hashtag we are using tonight is LookupWeekend. We are also live on Facebook and on YouTube. So be sure to send your feedback on those particular social platforms, and I'll be able to sample some of them as we continue with the program tonight. Let's start with our top stories tonight. Now, the move by the Matatu Owners Association chairperson Michael Kariuki to hike fare prices by 30% countrywide as from Wednesday, July 5th, has elicited mixed reactions amongst transport sector users, including those using public service vehicles. Now, these are people who are now complaining of the impact towards their businesses. Stanley Lugaria has been on the streets of Nairobi to gather the opinions from residents of Nairobi and files the following story.
The transport sector continues to grapple with the impact resulting from the implementation of an order by the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority (EPRA) increase fuel prices in the country effective June 30th. Stakeholders are raising eyebrows over the hardship they continue to witness.
Sasa tunaomba tu kiheshima, sisi tuangaliwe ni serikali. Sisi tunalalamika kila wakati. Juu kiamuka mafuta imeenda juu. Watu wetu Kajiado ni ule tutanine. Sasa watusaidie. Hiyo ngalama watuangalie sana.
The Public Service Vehicles Operators PSV claim they are on a further loss-making spree soon after the implementation of the new fuel service price by EPRA, with the dwindling numbers of travelers who are forced to forgo or merge journeys.
Gharama maisha kama mafuta ya gari, moni imepanda. Huwa tunabeba pipeline na 40 bob, but saizi ni 50. Kama hii ni bei ya mwisho na 50. Kari zingine zote hapa zinabeba 100. Hii ndio nabeba peke yake na 50. Lakini penye imefika hata inazafara tuweke 150.
According to the operators, it is business unusual which requires prompt intervention by the government to salvage the poor state currently being witnessed in the sector. Passengers have also not been left behind, expressing their struggles following the fuel price changes, which has obligated them to dig deeper into their pockets as they pay for the doubled fares.
Pande wangu kama msafiri, sababu nafanya kazi huku Nairobi, kupandishwa kwa nauli kuna ni affect. Sababu sasa vile nilikuwa nakuja kutoka Meru kukuja Nairobi, inabidi sasa ni reduce. Na ile kazi nafanya inapata mapato yangu bado sijaongezewa. Lakini upande wa fare imeongezewa. Sasa hapo naona kidogo hapo tunafinyiliwa sana.
PSV operators plying the Nairobi and its environs routes have heard similar sentiments and now claim have been mandated to cost-share the fuel price increase with the passengers, even though the proceeds are a drop in the ocean.
Andishwa kwa bei ya mafuta tupeleka hasara sana sana si watu wa matatu. Juu sahi hii gari huanga ina take 10 minutes to 20 kuja. Lakini sahi ina take 30 minutes to 1 hour or 2 hours.
Stanley Lugaria, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Thank you, Stanley Lugaria, for that. Moving on, stakeholders in the education sector in Kajiado County held a crisis meeting to deliberate on ways to improve performance in the national exams across the country. And as Ian Kitani now reports, Kajiado County Governor Joseph Ole Lenku is now calling on combined efforts within all stakeholders to ensure the county posts good results this year.
Statistics from the Ministry of Education listing Kajiado County as one of the worst performing counties in the national examinations. Stakeholders in the county, led by Governor Joseph Ole Lenku, held a crisis meeting to deliberate on measures to improve results across the county. According to the statistics, the county has registered only 15 airplanes in the last 3 years. In 2020, the county registered 2 airplanes as compared to 3 in the year 2021. However, in 2022, the county registered only 10 airplanes. During the forum, Governor Joseph Ole Lenku urged respective school boards and parents to put more effort and work in harmony to improve results in national examinations across the county.
The objective of this conversation is for us to accept that things are falling apart. Many of the parents in this county, because of the man nation rejecting white man education, I'm putting in quotes because it's not white man story, many of the boards or parents are illiterate. And so they are not as committed, they are not aware, they don't know their obligation, all that. That is a space to be addressed.
In the same statistics, at least 1,984 students joined campus after attaining C+ and above, translating to 20% of the students who sat for the exams in the year 2022, an increase of 384 students as compared to the 1,600 who joined campus the previous year, translating to 22% of the students who sat for the exams that year, with the number of those transitioning to universities being below average. In 2022, 7,112 students attained C+ and below, accumulating to 80% of the students who sat for the exams that year, as compared to the 6,874 who attained the same mark in 2021, translating to 78% of the total number of students who sat for the exams that year. With the results questionable, McLean Anyakanga, principal at Kimuka Girls, decried the lack of proper support from parents, who most of the time are unreceptive to teachers from other counties.
It's important to have a principle from the local community so that they act as role models. It told me something, that the important principle has also not been accepted much. Let us look at the principle that you have as the person on the ground to work with, so that we can be able to change the school. The mentality that this person is not from this particular community has also not helped us, our schools much.
Kajiado County NAT Secretary General lamented a lack of capitation to schools in the county, with the Director of Education assuring the school heads of proper capitation from government.
Of names, it is true, our schools lack capitation. And I've seen there is a lot of problem, especially in primary schools.
And you are in a secondary school, you will receive capitation.
Governor Ole Lenku has however insisted that if the stakeholders will work together, then the county will start posting good results.
The power in each of us, if properly harnessed, can literally move mountains.
Ian Kitani, Lookuptv.
Now, President William RUTO has been on the move this week, making bilateral agreements with different countries, including Congo and Comoros. Now, as he makes those particular trips back at home, there's trouble. He's facing difficult challenges, whereby there's an opposition that is taking to the streets, rallying people to protest against his government and his Finance Act. Let's take a look at what he faces.
President William RUTO has been busy abroad signing bilateral agreements with the Republic of Congo and Comoros. While he seeks partnerships for the betterment of the country, chaos ensues back at home. President RUTO, on his visit to the Republic of Congo, announced a groundbreaking partnership between Kenya, the Republic of Congo and the Central African Republic. The focus of this alliance is the fight against terrorism and insecurity across the continent. President Ruto emphasized the need for lasting peace and stability in Africa. During a meeting with Presidents Faustina Shange and Denis Sassou Nguesso, President Ruto expressed the commitment of these three nations to share intelligence and work together on international platforms to bolster Africa's peace agenda.
It is a new chapter that we are opening, courtesy of the friendship between our two countries and the wisdom and leadership of President Sassou Nguesso to provide this leadership for the two countries to explore the huge potential that exists in various sectors. Trade, to make sure that we grow trade that currently is minimal, and being minimal means there is huge potential for that growth to move to the next level, to grow our relationship in tourism. We have wonderful tourist products in Kenya. We have wonderful tourist products in Congo-Brazzaville. As you are aware, Kenya is home to the earliest remains of man.
The leaders also discussed combating radicalization and violent extremism to achieve peace, security and stability. While President Ruto is busy forging international partnerships back at home, he faces numerous challenges. It has been a tough week for the president as multiple setbacks have dampened the mood in Kenya. On one front, a court declared President Ruto's appointment of 50 chief administrative secretaries as unconstitutional. This ruling has left the president reeling as it questions the legality of his recent actions. Simultaneously, protests erupted in Nairobi, Mombasa, and other towns across the country. Citizens voiced their grievances about punitive taxes and the high cost of living. Opposition leader Raila Odinga has joined forces with civil society groups, threatening sustained civil disobedience until their demands are met. The government lawyers have urgently appealed to the court's decision, fearing the potential ramifications. The implementation of the new Finance Act has been frozen, blocking billions of shillings in tax collections per day and shaking up the administration's spending plans. Critics accuse President Ruto's predecessors, Uhuru Kenyatta, of strained relations with the judiciary. Some claim that President Ruto seeks to mend fences with the courts as he took swift action on the overlooked judicial appointments and allocation of funds. However, politicians affiliated with the president's coalition and social media accounts linked to the government's propaganda machinery have launched attacks against the courts. They allege that the courts are acting against the public interest and are being used to undermine the president. While President William Ruto seeks to strengthen Kenya's position on the global stage through bilateral agreements with the Republic of Congo and Comoros, challenges persist on the home front. Legal setbacks and public discontent add to the pressure on the president to address the grievances of his people.
All right, now we do want to take a short break here on Lookup Weekend. When we come back, we'll be coming back with more stories, including our weekly segment of The Big Number, looking at the cash crunch at HELB, that is the Higher Education Loans Board. We'll be telling you how many students are being affected by this, the money that was meant to actually get to finance their education, and much more. So don't go too far. Continue engaging us on our socials. At Amoy Brian on Twitter, at Lookuptv. The hashtag we are using tonight is Lookup Weekend. We are also live on Facebook, so give us your feedback. Tell us where you are watching us from and what you think about the stories that we are running today. All right, we are coming back in a few.
Let me introduce to you one Teddy warrior.
Teddy means divine gift in Greek.
What do you think is the greatest value that you carry now in you that has helped you become the Ted that we know today?
I recognize a subtotal or the totality of humanity and humans, and I'm able through pattern recognition, which is a talent that I also have, to summon all knowledge from all the people I meet and to use it to create something that has never been created. My teachers at Lenana, I help them know how to write good letters of recommendation. Just instead of saying Teddy is hardworking, I asked them how they can describe me.
Hold on.
Yes. So and guess how I
help the teachers.
Yes.
Too.
And guess how I did that? Guess how I did that?
Yeah.
This is important for Kenyans.
Infinity Industrial Park is one of the largest private industrial parks located along Eastern Bypass, Nairobi, which provides modern infrastructure for smooth operations for industries and business enterprises. Infinity Industrial Park offers world-class amenities and facilities with wide roads, a police station, a power substation, fire station, public transport stage, hospital, and shopping mall. In addition, Infinity Industrial Park also offers CCTV cameras, 24-hour private armed security patrol, sewer, water, fiber optic cable, and 3-phase power connection, added to public utility, canteen, and dining areas. Sail on the golden opportunity to invest in Infinity Industrial Park fully serviced warehouses at a special price of 3,569 Kenyan shillings per square foot. For more inquiries, visit our website infinityindustrialpark.com.
Are you a junior secondary school, a college, a TVET institution, or a university, and you want to advertise your intake? Book now and advertise with us today on both Lookuptv and all our digital platforms. Call us today on 011 0430 158, 011 0430 158, or email us on sales@lookuptv.co.ke.
Right now, thank you so much for staying with us here on Lookup Weekend. Let's continue bringing you up to date with what's making headlines across the country. Now, following opposition leader Raila Odinga's directive to start the process of collecting 10 million signatures to remove President William RUTO from power, today on Your Opinion Matters, we asked Kenyans whether they would sign the petition or not. This is what they had to say.
Mimi nasema as long as iko kwa constitution waendelee juu hata si tumefinyiliwa but hiyo hakuna, lakini juu kani food zishamea na bado hazishuki, so hakuna kitu.
Sizipeana hiyo sign. Sioni hata kama ina kitu inasaidia watu waamke wa hustle. Hata mkitoa president weka mbadu kwa hapo utabaki hapo. Maana signature tena watu waachane na signature.
Petition, yeah, the signatures are there, but you know the process of parliament is the determinant. Yeah, kama itapita parliament sawa, kama haitapita well and good, but mambo ya maandamano jamani, tutavunja kazi, itaendelea lini? When will we get money if we are always on the road?
Fine. Simply because unapata like youths wengi wako huko nje wamegraduate, hawana kazi na promisiwa ni ya kujenga, for which tunaambiwa kuna investors already wako na hiyo kazi, like wanashinda wakiweka every time. Last imekuwa issue na NSSF kaka 2 months, kuna tax housing, sasa nasikia kuna NHIF, of which inatupatia challenge kama sisi youth yenye tunatafuta kazi. So I wish harakisho tu sign, kama ni possible iende through is okay.
Tutasign zikikam. Maisha yamekuwa ngumu. Yeah. Sasa hadi situation si mzuri.
Zimeenda juu bana na maisha imekaa ngumu bana. Tulikuwa tuna expect huyu jamaa vile alisema ati vitu zitakuwa rahisi, at least maisha yenye kila mtu anafurahia, lakini sasa imekuwa ngumu bana. Ile level ya chini watu wanaumia. That's why nitasaini nione ka wale wenzangu wako huko nje na wao watafurahia maisha kama wengine.
Hiyo story ya signature
Kama inaweza make it ajaribu, lakini mimi sioni. Juu hapa president kutolea kwa hiyo mamlaka ni ngumu.
Naweza sign. Kwa sababu saa vile pia sisi huku maisha imetuendea tu ni kama ametusauka vijana huku nje. So mimi naonelea tu hiyo ya baba, mimi naweza sign juu kuni kungangana tu.
Kuja naweza kumpea hiyo signature. Sinda ni kwa sababu sasa sijui atapeleka wapi. Juu kwa sababu unaona ile serikali
part in this 10 million signature drive. Are you interested in having your president out of office, or you're comfortable with the way things are? So what is your take on that? And do you see this particular action actually bring about any results as a Kenyan? Your opinion does matter. Moving on, World Vision, an NGO, has launched a training for beekeeping and seed cultivation to young people in Chevaiwa, Kakamega County. Now, speaking during the training, the chief officer of the organization handling disasters in the region said that many of the young people had graduated in different disciplines. Therefore, it was beneficial for them to learn beekeeping and seed cultivation as an alternative to relying solely on employment. Hadassa Crystal with this and more.
World Vision, an NGO, has initiated training in beekeeping and seed cultivation as a way of providing self-employment for the youth of Chevaiwa in Lugari constituency, Kakamega County. Speaking during the training, World Vision Chief Officer John Karaoke stated that many of the young people had graduated in different disciplines, therefore it was beneficial for them to learn beekeeping and seed cultivation as an alternative to relying solely on employment.
Vijana hawa ambao wametoka shuleni wanaweza kuendelea kufanya kazi ambayo inaweza saidia mazingira yetu. Tunataka kuona kwamba tunaanza mradi wa kufuga nyuki kwa mizinga 60, ndio tutaanza nayo, na tunatarajia kwamba miaka 5 ikiisha kila kijana ataweza kuwa anapata zaidi ya dola 10 kwa siku.
Some of the youth expressed their hope in developing skills in beekeeping as they anticipate future employment in area of specification.
Tulichagua beekeeping juu beekeeping ni a very good source of income. Ukiscrutinize vizuri utapata beekeeping ni nzuri, iko na constant income na haihitaji yani checking up every time kama vile youths atuangalie hiyo project kila time.
The Secretary General of World Talent Federation, Humphrey Obora, is urging the government and Kenyans to adopt ways of identifying children's potential at an early stage in their academic journey to avoid wastage of time and resources.
Proper biometric kit or machine is a machine that helps us in predicting careers. Today in the world, that machine can help us know the career of a 4, 5, 6-year-old child 20, 30 years in advance. That means you as a parent, you as a teacher, you as a government, you know where to put money, time, and effort in advance.
Nairobi County Regional Director of Education, Mrs. Margaret Lesuda, is now calling on private schools to equip themselves adequately as per government regulations and directives to give proper service to learners to avoid gaps in the new CBC curriculum.
Itafurahi sana hiyo ikiingia kwa sababu tuko na haja sana ya public schools. We don't have adequate public schools in Nairobi. We have a shortage every time we do KCSE or KCP. We have to even, I don't know whether I'll use the word export or whatever, but our children have to seek Form 1 vacancies.
Girl Child Warriors Women Group have donated food and clothing for the upkeep of newborn babies and mothers in Langata Women Prison. Speaking at the prison, the members noted that they saw it good to remember the inmates who have children and struggling behind bars. Hadassa Crystal, Lookuptv.
Right, now let's get sporty tonight. Kiambu Golf Club is celebrating its 100 years since it was established. Now the club members celebrated the 100 years by donating wheelchairs to the Thika Level 4 hospital and distributing foodstuffs to the orphans in Maruirui in Kiambu County.
to golf, 100 years plus of Kiabu Club.
Congratulations for nurturing talents. Congratulations for giving our retired senior citizens an opportunity to enjoy life. Congratulations for maintaining the green city of Kiambu by maintaining the golf club. Congratulations for providing a lot of jobs for our young boys and girls who carry your cats. Congratulations for employing so many waiters who supply labor in this institution. Congratulations, Kiambu Club, for being the home of the successful talents internationally.
Who are here, I'm pleading with you, don't let it go. You have a rich history. It has a rich heritage. In fact, the golfers playing here in Kiambu and having it the way it is a symbolism that you conquered colonialism. That symbolism comes through, that you are enjoying, and this is a bastion of what would have been a colonial legacy, but you conquered it. You are the ones walking this greenery and enjoying the golf. Surely, how do you give that away?
Your Excellency, we would want to present to...
Right now I'm told that it's Marurui and not whatever I said. Away from that, a 4-ball of Samuel Njuno, Linda Kinywa, Julius Wanyaga and Susan Irungu scored a total of 139 points to win the 7th leg of the East Africa Golf Tour and defeating other 294 golfers. Now Thomas Thal of Thika Sports Club emerged the overall winner with 40 points.
I'm happy today while I was a winner of this course. The reason was my putting was today very well, was normally is not easy, and this gave me today this point, 40 points for the winner, and I'm happy, and I say big asante for the KCB, for the sponsoring, but all were very nice.
Kila series, the golf competition will comprise an 18-leg amateur leg across Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, fielding 2 series each, while the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda and Burundi will host 1 tournament each. At the end of it all, it will culminate in a grand finale at the current country club.
Now KCB RFC have booked a place in the semi-finals of the ongoing National Sevens rugby circuit by trouncing Kisumu RFC 31 points to nil in the quarter-final fixture. The Bankers captain Vincent Onyala led the team by scoring a hat-trick. In the first half, Edmund Anya added another try before they were awarded a penalty to cement KCB's spot in the semis. Now, Musingu High School stunned Western Soccer giants Kakamega High 2-1 in the finals of the Kakamega County School Games that was held at Buhungu Stadium in Kakamega Town. Musingu High and Shanderema have qualified to participate in the Western Region School Tournament that will be held at Buhungu Stadium in 2 weeks' time.
Tulianza mpangilio wa timu hii mwaka jana na step ya kwanza ilikuwa kuwaingiza kwa league. Na ni watoto wadogo, nimewaona kwa uwanja. Our future plan is that we are continue nurturing the team. Football is expensive, but I want to say that we have really supported the team to reach this level. We were able to go outside the box and brought on board the alumni of Musingu High School. They have played a key role. They have been able to buy the kits, the equipment the boys require. On top of that, a winning team need to be motivated. The boys have been motivated by our alumni. We want to appreciate them. Yes, we have an internal endowment fund to cater for the needy students. This endowment fund is contributed by the students in Musingu, the workers in Musingu, the teachers in Musingu, and parents of Musingu. And every year, every term, like last time we paid over 250,000 to the needy students, including footballers, so that we maintain them in school so that they can train, be fit, so that when we have competitions, they give us the results.
All right, now we are done with sports here on Lookup Weekend, but today we are doing it different, whereby instead of doing the big number, then we do sports. We decided to do sports, then we finish with the big number. I told you that we'll be looking at what has been making headlines this week, and we want to get into it. Now, to the big number tonight, we want to focus on break down the latest news and what the numbers have, or rather the numbers that matter. Today we bring you an exclusive report on the recent setbacks faced by the university students awaiting High Education Loans Board HELB disbursements. Let's dive into what this particular report says. Now, a group of university students has encountered a major obstacle in their pursuit of higher education. The highly anticipated financial support from HELB for the 2022-2023 academic year has been put on hold due to unforeseen financial challenges. Now, according to a statement released by HELB, the funds for this academic year could not be dispersed to all students. Now, the majority of affected students were first-year students who saw their application status suddenly change from verification to allocation. Let me quote this message. Now, it was saying, and I quote, "We regret that your financial year 2022-2023 application will not be funded due to budgetary constraints. Apply for the 2023-2024 subsequent application once we open." Now, the disappointment and frustration expressed by these students are understandable. While their applications went through the verification process, financial constraints prevented HELB from providing them with the necessary assistance. But there's hope on the horizon. Now, the HELB official assured students that when the subsequent allocation period opens, they won't have to start from scratch. Instead, they can apply as subsequent applicants using a unique USDD code to facilitate their mobile applications. Now, you may be wondering why you should care about this report. Now, the answer lies in the significant importance it has on the future of these students and the broader implications for higher education. Moving on, over 140,000 students in public universities and technical and vocational education and training colleges missed state loans after the Higher Education Loans Board ran out of cash. Now, back on the 22nd March, HELB's Chief Executive Officer, Charles Ringera, made the revelation when he appeared before the National Assembly Committee on Education and noted that the board had run out of cash. He said students will have to contend without the funds until the National Treasury released an additional 5.7 billion shillings. He said, and I quote, "Currently, we have 140,000 students in TVETs and universities that we have not been able to fund to the tune of 5.7 billion shillings because we have run out of the budget that we had presented to the Treasury. That was 14.5 billion. Now, he told the committee, he rather explained that most who would be affected by the cash crunch will be the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education class of 2022 joining institutions of higher learning compared to that of 2021 rather, which he said the number has almost doubled from 75,000 students in the same period struggle to fund due to the delays in releasing 3 billion shillings. This means that the first year students across the country will have to seek an alternative source of financing as they await state funding, and that is already happening. Moving on, let's not forget the continuing students. Despite challenges faced, the HELB officials assured them that their disbursement will be processed on time. Now, it's essential to prioritize the needs of those already pursuing their education, as they depend on these loans to finance their studies. Ensuring their stability and success contributes to the overall growth of our education system. But what does the future hold for incoming students? In March 2023, HELB encountered difficulties financing over 140,000 students just 2 months before universities adopted a new funding model proposed by President William Ruto's government. Now let's listen in to that particular proposal by the president.
Universities and TVETs, the new funding model based on differentiated unit costs. The government has resolved that university funding will henceforth be student-centered and be apportioned to individual students according to their level of need. Funding to students shall combine scholarships, loans, and household contributions on graduated scale, scientifically determined by means testing instrument. The means students will be categorized according to 4 levels of need. Vulnerable, actually 3 levels: vulnerable, less vulnerable, and able. All students shall be supported adequately to meet the cost of the program they choose to pursue.
All right, now that is President William Ruto. Now, under this new model, first-year students joining universities. Let me just take that again. First-year students joining universities this September 2023 will receive funding through scholarships and loans. The government-funded students will be categorized based on vulnerability and financial need. Now, less disadvantaged students will receive a 53% scholarship and a 30% loan, while more vulnerable students will be provided with 100% funding in form of scholarships. Now, this new approach aims to ensure that financial aid is distributed equitably among students, allowing them to focus on their studies without unnecessary financial burdens. Now, in this current financial year, students joining university will be doing it come September. But so far, only 15,000 students who sat for the 2022 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education exam and qualified for university admission are yet to apply for placement to higher learning institutions. Now, Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement Service, our Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Mercy Wahome, now says that data so far indicates that 157,468 of 173,127 students who attained a mean grade of C+ and above have applied for admission to degree courses. This financial year, HELB has disbursed 9.98 billion to 228,293 undergraduate students against a target number of 234,758 so far. However, the total number of applications received were 305,498. This leaves 77,205 students with a resource requirement of 3.33 billion without funding. Right. That does it for the big number tonight. Thank you so much for your time. I do appreciate you always making sure that you tune into this program and this segment, and trusting us to make sure that we break the numbers in a way that you understand, telling you exactly why it matters to you. It is always a pleasure. We do not take that for granted. Join us again next time when we look at a different number that will be making headlines, or one that touches directly to you. Our sign language interpreter tonight has been Philista Adundo. My name is Brian Amwai, and on behalf of everyone